Shit, pull the mic off. God damn it.
Yeah, I do that too.
Be a solo guy. Like it's all about whatever you want to do in your life.
Well, when I'm here,
Okay.
can you hear me right here? Over here?
Nah.
No, too far.
I feel like I should sing a solo.
That's fine. What
Like
I'll
a
do
slow
is,
song.
when I'm,
I had a dream.
Tell
No, that was one of your maybe your stories
What am I what?
that you were singing, but you actually sounded good. It might have been a dream.
I sound good. Hold on.
Damn.
No, I mean
I'm trying to think
like
what
she
I
actually
should
sounded
sing.
like a Beyonce or something. I'm pretty sure it was a dream.
I'm sure. So I sound like shit.
I want to get auto-tune and like make an album. I think that's gonna be on my bucket list.
To make an album.
I should do a
right.
mixtape.
Why can't I make an album? Is with auto-tune?
I didn't say you could. I just said it with more like, bass in my tone. Chase, calm
I'm
down.
just saying, like I should be able to, I think it'll be cool to like have an album.
Do it.
Sure.
For real.
Don't forget about us when you're famous.
I would never get famous.
Oh, Sean can't hear the sound effects. He was playing the.
I heard a little bit of that.
Okay, I was like,
I just like how that motherfucker come. It come in so hard, like with conviction. Like
that's probably why they used it on the the X-Files thing.
That's amazing.
So if at any point you feel like you want to grab your microphone, just do it.
Yeah, I might do that.
Like, look, bro.
Wrapped around this.
It's real chill these days.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah, we're not trying to. You won't ruin anything.
Gotcha.
Do what you want.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I do have a question. I feel like we might have already gotten started, so I'm just gonna go for it.
Do it.
So I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday while eating sushi, and she is a hairdresser, and one of her clients caught her husband cheating, right?
Wow.
Like caught him in the act of cheating. So when she caught him, he was going down on this girl. Right.
Juice.
So my question was, which would be worse? Like you catching your spouse giving someone head or them actually having sex?
I think both.
Yeah.
No, you gotta pick. If you had to pick one,
There's a gun to your
which
head
one would
right
you
now.
prefer to catch them in the act
Let me
of
think about this for a
doing?
minute.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say if you're giving somebody like fellatio, cause like
I feel like that's worse.
yeah, cause like you have to.
I agree.
I think most time women, unless they're just horrible, have to like the guy, on another level to give him
Well,
head.
and vice versa. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's more. I feel like it's a different stage of intimacy. Like,
Right.
and I would be very offended.
I was like, I think I would definitely be more devastated if I went in and you're like going to town.
I mean,
I think it's a cultural thing,
Lick
though,
monster.
too.
Cultural.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like if you ask
Lick
someone
monster.
that is a virgin, and then like what's the worst such scenario? I think someone that's a virgin might be
cheating.
like, that's I'd rather not have sex than just do
give head.
something
That's
like that,
true.
This is true.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. That's a different level of intimacy. I think I
don't
definitely
know.
would
Wait,
want to
so,
catch my
like,
man going down
If
on
I
some
was
woman.
a virgin
but what if you come in
and the guy, and that was all we did, it would still be bad either way. It doesn't matter. It's
I
like,
feel like it's worse. Like if a man's like going down on a woman than a woman going down on a man. For some, I don't know why. In my mind, I feel like it's it's worse. Just because there's. Never mind. But yeah, I feel like it's worse. So
so what did she do?
she was upset, of course.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean-
I don't know. I couldn't stop laughing at the fact that she caught him giving head. I was like, what the fuck? Like, did he love
Stacey
this
out
girl?
of line.
Hey, yeah. I mean, we were.
I mean, what do you do? Do you just stand there and you
I
cry?
don't know.
Or
Like-
do you just like...
But I feel like my reaction would also be different if you're giving head. Oh, this what we doing? This love right here? This some love shit right here?
Have y'all seen This Is Where I Leave You?
No.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yes. Oh,
That shit-
that is such a good movie. Is that the one
Man.
where he goes back in time? No, wait, that's
I don't know
one.
where you at.
No, I haven't
but-
seen that movie.
This Is Where I Leave You. Oh my god. Like when okay, let me set this up. So what happens is he works at like a radio station or some shit, like as a producer, and he's producing for some like radio personality, right? And the guy, he's giving him all these bullshit tasks to do at work or whatever, and then he's making this motherfucker work late so he can fuck his wife. I was like, man. Then he walked in on their anniversary.
Is he giving head?
Sounds like a really bad movie.
Insult to injury.
That's
And it's a comedy.
brutal.
It's a comedy.
That's not funny. There's nothing funny about cheating.
I love those type of movies. Like when he like, what I'm saying, when he got to come back. Reminds me of my life.
Well,
I am Stay Sorry,
Jessica Lola,
kingcallenp,
and we are Houston. I'm just saying we are. We are in sync.
I was watching an episode last night. It was the blind date one. I watched the whole episode as if I've never seen it. It was so funny, and I was like, "Oh, we did it on that episode. We did to Houston."
Yeah. We're getting it together. We're getting it together.
Yes. Well, we are here today with food blogger
Sean
_Dev.
One half of Sean and Sandy.
Yes.
He's a half.
Yes.
He's a whole half.
Sean is a food blogger. He and his wife Sandy have a YouTube channel. It's kind of awesome. Tell us about your channel.
Yeah. So it all started first off with my wife and I noticing that Yelp and Instagram and all these other platforms are just showing a side of like our food scene that it's not true a lot of times. You've got pictures, you've got reviews, and you can't really trust what you see. And we thought we could do better. We saw that, video is a platform where it's very hard to fake in a short period of time. And what better way, I noticed myself going on YouTube to Google things, and I'd rather watch a video on it than read it a lot of times, especially if it's like quicker, than doing my research. And so that's where the YouTube channel idea came on, and we were like, you know what, we already go out to eat a lot. Why don't we just bring a camera with us and show people what we do? And not only that, like show people where to eat and new spots and what to order and how to order and the cultural thing about it, because, Houston's a diverse city. Right. And so that's how Sean and Sandy was brought to life, and we sucked in the beginning. I'll be honest. We didn't know what camera to buy. I didn't know how to talk on camera. I was so shy.
What's your guys' first video?
So it was a New Orleans food tour. We were in New Orleans for my birthday last year, and my wife had surprised me last minute, and she was like, "Let's go to New Orleans," and it was just out of the blue, and then we bought this camera, and we didn't know what to buy. No, you're good. So we just started filming. We didn't know what we were doing, really. We just were like, this camera is following us through the day. We're going through a market. We're going to Café du Monde at the end, and we went to Mother's, another famous spot. And,
I've been there.
Yeah, and good food and just a lot of memories we saved. So that first video was a little bit shaky in my opinion. Like now that I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, we sucked. But if you see our videos progressing, it started getting better and better, and we stuck to a 3 video a week schedule, just grinding out 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we were just for us it was easy because we already ate out a lot, right? So the hard part for us was like the editing, the posting, and YouTube's a beast, when it comes down to posting a video. You guys, I'm sure can understand, you got to have that thumbnail, you got to have those tags, you got to have non-copyright music, and it's just like, okay, well, why does Instagram get to do all that and YouTube doesn't get to use or copyright music? So anyways, we're now 90 videos in, and
wow,
91 actually.
And how long have y'all been?
So we started on July 4th. Was our first post for New Orleans.
Gotcha.
And so we're coming up a year.
You're gonna do like your year anniversary and kind of redo your New Orleans experience.
I really want to be honest. That would be
That's a good idea.
And it's just crazy when I look back at those videos, and I don't want to delete them because a lot of YouTubers they'll go back and they'll be like,
nah. You want to show the progress, right? Like here, we started from the bottom. Now we
exactly.
Oh my god,
so true though.
Yeah, so it is. Our struggle. Our first 2 videos were struggle as fuck.
Oh yeah.
all my fault.
And that's the thing is like a lot of mainstream media, you don't see where a lot of these people progressed from.
Right, and that's not cool because it makes you think like, oh, okay, everybody's shit is out here and it's like perfect.
Right.
And that's not the case. Like, that's what intimidates people from getting started with doing blogs and, you know, whatever it is that they want to do and put out there on the internet. So
I think you just have to also be willing to just put it out there and have it not, like, accept that it may be bad.
Right.
And just see what kind of reaction it gets. Maybe it isn't. Because I feel like there's also some videos that we posted, you know, that we think like, oh, this video is gonna, but then people are like, love the video, and I'm like, oh, I guess that was a good video. Like,
it's just people relating, you know, people being able to relate with you, like, oh, you're still a human, you mess up, you make mistakes, you don't know about this or that. So it's just crazy when I look back now, and it's like, whoa, you know, and it's you know, I'm blessed.
Yeah. So any of the like the videos you've made so far, has anybody, like when you go into restaurants, just been super unreceptive of y'all being there doing this? I feel like that would intimidate me. Like, I'm bringing a camera into a restaurant, I'm talking, I'm filming. People are like, "Yo, I'm trying to eat. Why are you?"
Yeah. Here's the thing: if you got a problem with me recording your food is trash. Like, why the fuck would you? Why would you be upset about that?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you're the one that's putting yourself out there, standing up with a camera while everybody else doing their regular thing.
That was a big thing, and my thing is, I'm not shy about eating on camera. I don't know why people get like that. Sometimes I've heard that just they don't want to be on camera for eating.
I know somebody else in this room that hasn't shot eat on camera. She eats all the time.
I eat on camera. Never. Oh, you're the one that was had a whole Panera
bowl. Always eating on Instagram.
Instagram is crazy.
Yeah, I eat a lot.
Literally every time.
Oh, I thought we met here.
Maybe. Then she gave it to Nacho.
It's like, when did you eat on camera?
I've never eaten on the podcast.
I've definitely on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm always eating.
So I would say, you know, surprisingly enough, the food that we're having today is actually one of the videos where they weren't thrilled about us filming.
Yeah, I walked into that place and first of all, it was packed.
Yep.
And I mean, and this will take us into what we're about to discuss right now, but it was packed. It was so packed, and it's very small, very mom and pop-ish. It's like in one of the busier shopping centers of Bellaire, so it was. I could see how they might not want you to film.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, they realized later that it was a big thing for them. You know, I mean, the video went viral, well, semi-viral, I guess you can call it, depending on what you call viral.
What's viral?
To me, viral is when you wake up the next morning and you're like, "Can I cuss on this show?" Though?
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
I've already said like 4 times.
So, you know, it's one of those things where I woke up the next morning and I told my wife, I was like, holy fuck, what is going on here? Like, what did we do that made this video go viral? And it wasn't like right away, right? You just wake up and it's Christmas all of a sudden, like literally. And that was like the first time I'd ever experienced it. It was just like, holy crap, what the heck?
So viral means like views, like
views,
or shared,
engagements, comments, you name it. We got all those things. And so I guess, you know, can I go ahead and talk about?
Yeah, go.
So the video, first off, it's Banana Leaf. It's a restaurant, like she said.
Is this the viral video?
This was the viral video. So it's got 12,000 views and growing. Okay. So, you know, it's for someone that just started, like we had like maybe not even 200 people on our channel yet. That was a huge thing for us, right? Because actually now we had like significant viewership on that. And we were still amateurs, and we were using iMovie still, you know what I mean? Like, and so for us, it was a big thing. But Banana Leaf, we decided last minute. I'd met a DJ from 97.9. Have you heard of G Maniac?
Nope.
He's got a thing called Bless the Belly, and he
Bless the Belly.
And so I actually met him with Sandy at this food truck festival in August last year. And he just came up to us because we were filming, and he was like, "What do you got there?" And Sandy was eating a ice cream taco.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, and G-Man just comes up to her and was like, "Can I get a photo of that? And what are you guys doing? Like, can I be in this? You know, I want to join. You guys are having fun. I do the same thing." So we just hit it off real good right there. Like G-Man, good friend of mine now, and I'm so glad I met him. But we came up with the idea. I was like, my family's from Malaysia, Singapore. If you don't know where that is, Southeast Asian country. Not too far from like Thailand, Philippines, that sort of thing. So I wanted to share that cuisine, and I know G-Man had never had something like this before, so I was like, bro, let's do this video. I'm going to express the cuisine to you and give you a tour like none other. And he was all open about it. I was like, is there anything you don't eat? You know, spicy food, nothing. You know, he was all about it. So the dishes you see here are actually pretty much the dishes we ordered. There's like one or two things that we didn't get. But for the most part, this is what I showed him. We started off here with the roti prata, which is an Indian pancake. It's bread with a curry. And then over here we've got the char kway teow, which is a kind of like a rice noodle like chow fun, but it's a little tastier in my opinion. You've got more sauce, more flavor in it. And then over here you've got chicken rice. It's Hainanese chicken rice, which is a very unique dish to Singapore, Malaysia. And what it is chicken cooked with the rice. They boil this chicken together with the rice to give it the flavor. Then they put the chicken in an ice bath, so it like basically separates from the skin. And it just has a nice tenderness to it. And it has... You see a trinity of sauces. That's 1, 2, and 3. You've got a ginger sauce, a brown soy sauce there, and then you've got another hot sauce over there. And then finally you have the Singapore-style laksa, which is a curry coconut like broth with prawns or shrimp, barbecue pork, Chinese barbecue pork, shrimp, tofu, and this one they put chicken. I don't know why, but usually I don't like chicken in there, but... it's really good stuff, really spicy, really flavorful. So for those of you that don't understand the cuisine in that area, so you've got India in one section, and then you've got China in the other. So you've got to go from one to get from one side to the other. Back in the day, you have to come through Singapore. So the cuisine is so influenced by all of that area, right. And that's why you have Indian curry here, Chinese noodles here. You know, you see what I'm saying?
This is true.
And a soup over here that's like curry, but it's still like Asian style noodles.
Right.
So it's a very unique place in the world that you can't find this cuisine very often. You know, it's not Thai food, but it's not Indian, it's not Chinese. It's a little bit of everything. So.
Nice.
Never had Malaysian food.
Do we start eating?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
We can
So-
take a second to get some plates there.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're gonna say a prayer.
Or dig right in.
That's all.
We're not gonna say a prayer.
Wow.
I mean, we
That's sad.
No, we're good.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Dang.
Dig in.
Did you want
Right.
to film any of this food really quick before we go? We're good.
Do I just? I'm ready.
You don't
To
have
So
to.
just so I would start off with the roti prata first.
Okay.
So the way this is made, they use a lot of like labor. If you ever want to see a video of how this is made on YouTube, it'll blow your mind. Unfortunately, in the U.S., it's very hard to find fresh. So it's actually a frozen dough that they have, and they actually do fry it nicely and stuff. It tastes pretty good still. But
Right.
like if you go to Singapore and you see this, they throw this bread, they fold it, they fry it. It's insane, and it costs 60 cents over there. And
60 cents.
yeah, like you eat like a champ. In Malaysia and Singapore, they have these hawker centers, right? They're like little food courts that the government subsidizes, and it's for people to have cheap food, cheap access to food. So eating out is actually sometimes cheaper than cooking in Singapore,
Oh.
surprisingly.
Make sure people eat.
So you'll eat, trust me, you'll eat like a champ. You ever go to Singapore, you'll eat like a champ for cheap. Let's see.
Am I
Bite,
eating?
bite reaction.
No. Okay, hold on.
That was a quick bite.
It looks like it would be like a chip. Is it bread?
It's
It's
bread.
bread.
It's bread.
Okay.
Ours was good too. I didn't double dip. You saw I turned
Is
it
it like
around.
naan?
It's like naan, but it's a little
It's
tastier,
very
I think.
similar.
It's got more layers, right? Mm-hmm. And it's
Yeah,
fried.
it's more
Naan is
flaky.
baked in a tandoori oven. So this has a little more savory taste, I'd say. It's not so dry.
It's good.
But this is what they eat in the morning. Indian.
Oh.
Yeah, this is breakfast. But you can eat it at night, too. Don't get me wrong. Or any time of day. It's just... you would go to your hawker center in Singapore and find an Indian shop that sells this. And surprisingly, so Singapore, Malaysia has 3 different cultures. You have Chinese, Malaysian, which are kind of like Filipino background people. They have their own culture, though, than compared to the Philippines, but they have that Thai Filipino look. And then you have the Indians. So you have...
Chase.
3 different types of religions. This is Indian Muslim food. This is Chinese style or Malay Chinese, and then you've got Chinese here as well.
Our chow fun, here, I'm sure this is way better, but I love chow fun. It's just a flat
if you love chow fun,
noodle.
You will. So the funny thing is, this dish, in my opinion, tastes better the next day because the noodles have so much more flavor. Oh, people think I'm crazy. I'm like, no, trust me on that. The noodles are amazing the next day. So how are you liking that though?
Oh, it's disgusting. What are you talking about? No, it's good.
It's disgusting.
So
disgusting. I don't know why.
And the thing about it is it's cheap. It's good. Not the healthiest food at times, but in Singapore, Malaysia, you walk a lot and you sweat it out, right? It's hot as hell over there. It's 95% humidity in Singapore. You'll come outside after showering and you're drenched. So if you think Florida is bad, Singapore's on the equator, so it's
Houston the past week has been I wake up sweat and I'm I need to shower. It's not sweat, it's obviously humidity, but that's how I felt the past week. I'm sure Singapore's worse.
Singapore's worse.
I mean,
really, it's good.
You digging it?
I need a spoon. I want some of this. I just want the plate, actually. Just give me the plate.
I think that
bread is off the chain.
I told you.
It is.
Get more bread, Chase.
So you can actually buy this in the supermarket and fry it yourself. Mm-hmm. Put it on the frying pan. Takes 5 minutes to make. And, the trick is the restaurant, they do it up a little bit. So if you see how the bread's kind of scrunched over there, they kind of do this with their hands to kind of make it fluffy and, have that texture to it. And then, make sure you get yourself some of this. So this is called sambal, S-A-M-B-A-L. And what it is it's kind of like our liquid gold. They charge probably extra. I'm pretty sure they charge you extra for that. They're stingy with this stuff because it's made of shrimp. So you don't eat this. Please don't eat this. Good stuff though. I could just eat
shrimp juice.
Yeah, pretty much with chili and oil and all that goodness. So you put a little bit of this on your noodles a little bit. And that gives it a nice
I think I gave you
flavor.
I need some sauce. Can you have me another plate?
What?
Oh, just kidding. No, you're good, actually. I forgot I had this plate.
Did you get the broth for the soup?
Yeah, I put some on there. Do you want more broth?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Short.
And then there is squid in here. So if you don't eat squid, just
we're good.
Pass that.
We're good.
I'll
eat it.
Shrimp, squid, and like I said, that one is called char kway teow. Chicken rice, Hainanese chicken rice. So Hainan is a part of China. It's an island in China, South China, and a lot of people migrated to Singapore from that island. So you have this dish, which is called Hainanese chicken rice, and even Anthony Bourdain, whenever he would go to Singapore, that was his dish. He was for a long time he went to Singapore, he had never tried this dish, and that's the national dish of Singapore. So he did an episode where he was I have to go and find one of the chicken rice. I have to go eat chicken rice right away. And after that, his life was never the same. He said it's one of those things. It's a gift from God. You're doing the happy dance over there.
Eat chicken. I eat chicken and rice literally damn near 3 times a week.
There you go.
Rice is good.
So it's cooked with the chicken.
It has a good flavor.
And the sauce,
Because it's cooked with the chicken.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move this just
you're
like
fine.
this.
No, you're
Can I
good.
move it down?
You can do whatever you want to do. I've adjusted your sound.
Okay. Perfect. So.
But yeah, no, it was
even
good.
the chicken's
The
good.
rice was really good. The chicken was good. Even the cucumber.
What would you give it out of 10?
Chicken rice? I'm gonna give it a good 7.
7 out of 10?
And the only reason why is because when I eat chicken and rice. Okay, so being an African American, we do
African American? I had no idea.
Oh my god. We do chicken, rice, and gravy.
Okay.
Which is it's still chicken and rice, right? And you can make it in different ways. You can do the same thing where you cook with the chicken.
Yeah.
But with all the seasonings and all that. So from my background, that's gonna always get a 12 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understandable.
But it's good though. It's really good.
And you gotta understand, when you go there, it's a little different. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
We're missing a lot
yeah.
of spices. There's a
Right.
brown sauce that's you have to smuggle it in here. It's so hard to get into the U.S. at times. So
Yeah, no, it's
Really?
good.
oh, there's so many. Growing up, we would go there every year for my summers, and I think I spent half of my kindergarten in Singapore growing up, right? And I always remember my parents would like bring a full suitcase with the food stuff, and I'd freak out. I'm like, dude, they're gonna bust us so hard one day.
Hey.
Funny airport story.
Oh my gosh.
You know how like when you're coming in and they have you answer all those questions on the little like touchscreen computer, and I didn't read any of the questions. I just answered yes to everything. And so when the little paper printed out my picture on it, it was like this big X on it.
It was like, no, you're
And I was like, oh my God. And apparently I had said that like, yes, I'm smuggling in like drugs, farm animals, like food, all kinds of
All the questions
need a
you're supposed to
random search you,
automatically
man.
say no for.
Right. I said yes. And then the guy, like, they pulled me to the side, like customs, and they're like,
Yo,
bruh.
what's really going on?
Real talk.
I was like, I don't have any of this stuff. I don't know why I said yes. And they're like, I've never had anyone do that before. So, yeah.
Hey, that's what it's like being brown. Now you know.
Hey, real talk.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, even like that happens everywhere though. Like, I have an aunt that passed away, but when she lived in California, and it's just certain things you can't get in certain places from, but you love it from where you're from, right? Mm-hmm. So they have what's called Zumo sauce, and she loved that, and then boudin, which is like what it is.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody knows. 'Cause I'm not explaining boudin, but yeah, I mean, just buy the cases. You gotta send her cases with like the hot ice, and you gotta ship it to her just so she can have it. So,
What's hot ice?
hot ice is what
Dry ice?
dry ice, same thing.
I was born in Louisiana, by the way. So I'm
See?
Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Lafayette, Louisiana.
What's up? See what I'm saying? So yeah, that's crazy. Dang, so you've had all the good food from every place.
That's why.
How did you feel about
So hungry?
when you went to Mother's? Mm-hmm. So what did you think about Mother's per the hype of Mother's?
I think that it wasn't a bad meal. It wasn't the best meal.
Exactly.
But I think for the hypes there, we waited in a long line.
Yeah.
So the funny thing was,
it's like kitchen style. If people don't know, Mother's is like a staple for New Orleans. But it's like a kitchen, like as far as it's like a what they call it, like the line. There's like the lunch line, yeah, like a cafeteria style place. But go ahead.
And they have lines that are like 2 hours long, And
Yeah.
Oh my god! I never go to Dumon's and wait there.
But it's
either.
not that good.
That's what I'm saying. It's just.
It's not worth that wait.
A beignet, right?
No.
Like it's just a beignet.
Right. I thought I ain't gonna lie. The first time I had beignets, I was so disappointed. Cause I'm like, it's good. It's good, but it's like I like really, it was like I like sweet stuff. But it was good for the experience. But Mother's, the best thing they have is that bread pudding.
Yeah, the bread pudding is really
good. Off the chain.
Did you want this other piece of bread?
Nah, y'all got it.
So funny story about
Watch my
Mother's
figure.
when you say bread pudding. That was what I had.
Oh, bread pudding's so.
And Sandy had she had a brownie on the side. So if you look in the video, I always like bust her chops for this. I'm like, in the video, she's like, I had a brownie on the side, with her accent because she's German.
Yeah.
So it was just a funny moment
Damn,
that
a brownie
even
would
to
be so
this
good.
day I bust her chops for that. But I had that bread pudding; it was so good.
Oh yeah, it's good.
But I was definitely like a little disappointed that it was a little hyped up.
It was hyped up. I mean, like, everything looks good when you get it, but I understand they're having to. A lot of these restaurants, they're having to cook for different people, right? So they're not able to like really give you the flavor or the spice, and that's really what's missing. Because I can tell that everybody that was behind that counter could cook. I could see it in their face.
But they looked stressed too. They looked stressed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man.
But they're also just not. So I guess while we're sitting here, a question I guess that I have here is, so why do you think people like to watch people eat on YouTube? Like,
I'll be honest, like I did that too, and part of the reason I think I would like it is I feel like I'm eating when I'm watching people eat, to be honest. I could be eating freaking celery, and if I'm watching you eat a bomb pizza, like, oh man, I'm eating pizza too. Like, it's a party.
Fuck that. I need that pizza.
And food is a drug. Let's be honest. Like, what does it do? I feel like it hits you with the dopamine or something.
No, it does.
When you eat those good carbs, like I'm eating the noodles right now,
for sure.
You feel good. You can have the worst day, and you're like, I feel like that's my drug. Food is my drug. I definitely need to work on that a little bit, but no, I think it's one of those things that connects people of all different countries and origins, and that's one thing I love about food. And you don't have to be rich to enjoy it. You can be poor. So it's one of those things that connects poor people, rich people. Although we do have some bougie people in Houston about food, and I don't want to go into that too much, but I think the thing about YouTube is you've made everything accessible to anyone. So like we go to like fancy brunch places, we go to street food stalls in Mexico City, and the thing is, you can still enjoy that, and you can still learn about it, and you can do it yourself if you want, and we highlight all these different types of places for that reason. There's a lot of foodies out there. They only go to fancy places, and it's like, why would you do that? Like, you're only cutting off your audience and accessibility, to the rest of the world if you can't afford to go to your place there. So some of the things I like to do is tell people the tricks, the hacks, and for example, I've gotten into the travel hacking space a lot, where if you go to our airport right now, like George Bush Airport, and I have a ticket and you're traveling with me, we're going to eat for free. Like, we have Cadillac Bar, we have Landry's, and I have a membership for Priority Pass where you basically get a free meal. And things like that, so I want to show people those little tricks, those little hacks. Hey, make sure you ask for the sauce that's extra on the side, because that sauce is really good. Stuff like that, and not just like, oh, we're having this great time and all that. It's like, no, we're just gonna do what we do, and we look like we're having a great time. I hope, at least.
Yeah.
But that's just how we've been doing it. And that's people ask, what's your secret sauce? It's like, just have fun. Just
do what you're fucking doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and especially too, like I feel like that's what people use Yelp for, obviously, is you want to know where you should eat and what you should get there, or like what people have said about it. So if you do watch like the food videos or any of that stuff, or even the stuff on the actual TV, like the people who go and check everywhere the U.S., like you watch it because you want to know, like, oh, where do I go? The best burger, or this place has this, or this place has that. So like, because I would have honestly never been here. And not because I don't like Malaysian food, or I just wouldn't have gotten around to it.
Yeah.
And then I definitely wouldn't have known what to order. Like,
well, then the thing about it is you get stuck into like your normal, like that's what I do. Let me find something I like. It's a problem because I'm gonna want it like all the time.
But like for example, we did this video and it took off, and I looked at it, I was like, why did it take off? Like, what was the thing that made it like super special, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, was it because we had a special guest that he has an audience as well, and he brought a lot of attention to it as well. But when I looked at the metrics, I was like, people in Malaysia were watching us eat their
food.
I feel like Jessica's struggling like is it spicy?
No, just like us over here.
Oh, I thought this shit was spicy as hell. Her face like,
yeah, I know it was.
Is it hurting?
I warned you.
No, it was spicy.
What'd y'all have that was spicy?
That curry stuff is spicy.
Yeah, the laksa is a little spicy.
So the other stuff has like a tinge of seasoning in it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I thought she was gonna take the plate, but she actually
I was trying to be polite. I was like, fuck. I was gonna take the plate, but no, forget.
That's funny. So people in Malaysia watched your video.
Yeah,
and now they follow you. So all these little Malaysians are following you right now.
Hey, I'm all about it,
where we're going.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of YouTube.
That's cool. Yeah, that's the beauty of like social media, period. The good part.
And to be honest, I'd rather be big. I don't want to be famous in the U.S. if I'm living here, right? I'm one of those people. I want to live my normal life as much as possible. If it blows up, great. I'm all about it too. But
yeah, you're not forcing it.
How cool would it be if I'm big in Malaysia, and I can go visit whenever I want, but I can live a normal freaking life over here?
He goes to the airport and all these Malaysians just like,
I don't know if y'all understand who I am.
The thing is that I feel like YouTube is bigger in other countries sometimes than it is over here, because people are trying to see what is it like over there. What do Americans think about Malaysians or whatever country it is, So it was an interesting, insight to see that. And then, so we saw what made it take off was I explained this cuisine, and people were like, the viewers here really liked that. They were like, you really explained the cuisine good, and now I can go there confident to order the dishes that you ordered and try them.
Yeah, actually, when I walked in, the guy was like, "Why did you order this?" Or like, somebody told you what to order? Like, he was joking with me. And I was like, actually, yes. He was like, oh, somebody did? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what to order. Somebody gave me a list, and he was like, oh, cool. That's so nice. Like, he was really sweet guy.
Nice. So that helps when you have that expert. So that's the thing is, another thing was, you're eating with an expert. And like, granted, I'm not the biggest food expert. I'm not going to claim that. I'm not a chef. I can cook. I don't like to cook, but I can cook. But I love to eat. Obviously, I came from that multicultural background in Singapore, Malaysia. Mm-hmm. But I thought of the idea of starting to conquer other cuisines. So, like, lately we did Ethiopian cuisine. We brought a friend of mine who's Ethiopian. Mm-hmm. And, like, Ethiopian food has been one of those things I've always wanted to try, but I had no clue what the fuck I was ordering, right? Mm-hmm. No, real talk, you know. So I set this up, and we had him come out, and he just made it happen. You know, he was like the Ethiopian advocate here for Houston, and he's ordered this like huge thing of it's called injera. It's like a sourdough bread. Mm-hmm. It has a spongy texture to it, and it's a very similar thing to Indian food in many ways because it has its own, like, you eat with your hands, and yeah, it's spicy a little bit. Right. There's like curry-ish kind of things. It can get really hot. So anyways, we do a little series kind of on that side where we try to show you ethnic cuisines because Houston's so diverse.
Stacey fucking all this food.
She's just like, I'm trying to finish.
Just say fuck questions. Pass the sauce. This bitch.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
So, is there a trendy type of food to eat right now? I feel like the world is going through like trends of food, like what we eat. Like, you know it's not about expensive food anymore. It's about like the food. Like, so what's a trendy food that
I think really right now, you know, Korean food's coming in. You know, I've definitely seen a rise in Korean food, Korean barbecue. The whole Japanese, the sushi restaurants with the conveyor belt. I don't know if you guys have been to those.
We got one with the train all over in California.
Is there one in train? Like the train and the food?
There's one called Kura, which we actually did a video. This place, when it first opened in Midtown, we immediately made a video there because we were like, we had to try it out. And like, I'm not going to spend $70 on sushi unless I can film it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, that place now has opened like down from the Strip in Las Vegas, Sugarland, West Chase, like they're everywhere. Kill it, Stacey.
There you go, goddammit. Like, stop playing these childish games.
Just don't waste the sauce. That sauce is gold.
It's
called sambal.
Okay.
Nice.
But, you know, it's one of those things where I feel food trends are somewhat like culture trends. You know, like with music even. You know, I notice, like, I'll be listening to music and I'm like, oh, let me see what kind of food. Like, I've been on a. Have y'all heard of Afrobeat?
Yeah.
Okay, so Afrobeat's kind of a new genre that, not new, but it's something that I've been adding to my playlist. A lot of artists, and I think even Drake's kind of got into that.
Of course
a little
he
bit.
has.
I was listening to Afrobeat, you know, a couple years ago was the first time I heard it.
Right.
And then I was like, you know, that's how I kind of got into Ethiopian cuisine, and I even looked into Nigerian cuisine. Excuse me, I got a burp. It's just one of those things where you gotta try something, and sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, you know. And more times than not, though, I've liked it. So, you know.
So what do you, out of all the meals you've had in your life, what is your favorite meal? Or like what's like your go-to, like your number one?
We should all answer that question.
You know, that's hard. I guess.
Favorite,
that's on there.
Yeah. What's your favorite style? I guess of cuisine. Everybody's here. Favorite style cuisine. If you had to pick one that you could only eat for the rest of your life,
I could just do
what
this.
style?
How about we reframe this question? What would be your
if
you were on death row and you were being put to death that night? What is your final meal?
Oh, that's a good one.
Damn.
Thanks, Sean.
Sean just like.
Okay, I'm gonna go. So, I've been really into making my own Filipino food lately because my grandpa's Filipino Chinese, for those people who don't know. So, but since we don't live next to him and he passed away recently, we don't cook the food as much, or I haven't, or I can't call and ask him. Right. So I've been really trying to like immerse myself in that culture so I can pass it on to my girls. So I've been really into longanisa. or I'm sure that's not how you say it. It's similar. There's another syllable in there somewhere. But so my final meal would be the Filipino style fried rice. The garlic fried rice is just white rice, I believe, a little bit of garlic and salt and pepper. No soy sauce or anything. And then the longanisa sausage, which I want to say the longanisa is really just pork sausage with like brown sugar, garlic, like a whole bunch of seasoning, all that kind of stuff. And then a fried egg, fried egg runny, however you say that. And then there's this, I forget what it's called. No. And then for dessert, I would have cassava cake. Mm-hmm. So good.
Have you ever had a thing called balut?
No, I don't. I can't do it. My grandpa would bring those home, and we just can't. It's an egg that has a chicken fetus in it, and you eat it like
with the chicken. I've seen some with duck fetus. Though. Like I've seen someone eat it with.
So like, funny story.
It's literally like it looks like the
baby duck.
Baby, yeah,
it's disgusting.
So I'll be honest. It doesn't taste like you would think. It tastes like an egg, more or less, with more flavor. But
do you eat the chicken?
Are you supposed to eat the chicken or the duck in it?
Yeah, absolutely. You eat it. It's a delicacy. Mm-mm. So the funny thing is, when my parents first moved here, my mom had a scare. She went to the Asian market, bought eggs, and she bought the wrong eggs, and they were fertilized eggs. So that was she was mortified.
That would be true. That's like a scarring. Like you just start mixing up these eggs, and there's like babies in them, and you're like, what are these eggs?
Put it in some, try to make cake.
What are these eggs?
Oh, what are those? Yeah.
What are those?
So it's one of those things though. It's you have to try it if you ever go to the Philippines, but I wouldn't go out seeking it here. I would want to try it over there, but
yeah,
I had to ask.
So Stacy, last meal.
You're on death row. You got $20.
Death row. What did you?
And
do?
then they give me a limit of $20. The fuck?
You can't have lobster for 20. Well, maybe you could.
What would I?
Maybe if you're in a Maine prison.
I feel like I would. I wouldn't. I would go back to like eating chicken because I really like fried chicken.
So fried chicken.
Yep. Okay. Probably like some mashed potatoes and some gravy with some like asparagus and broccoli. I would literally want to ask for every single thing that I like and just eat.
She's like fried chicken.
It would be like a lot of shit that just doesn't even go together. Like some crab legs.
In one big ass bowl. Just
so we need to take a Chinese buffet.
A good one. A good Chinese buffet.
Yeah. But I need some cabbage and
cabbage.
Yeah.
So maybe some some crawfish etouffee.
Chinese buffets, you have all those things.
I've never seen crawfish etouffee. I don't like Chinese buffets. I've never seen crawfish etouffee there. Maybe you could tell me about a great Chinese buffet because I've never been to one that I was just love.
You have to be careful with buffets.
Yeah, you do. My rule with buffets is I don't like it. If I go to a buffet, I like to be the first one in the buffet.
Yes.
Because you can't really
have we had this conversation? I feel like we have. So imagine, this is why I don't like buffets. Imagine you are in a buffet and you are sick and you're like,
oh yeah,
and you sneeze all over your hand. You're like, whatever. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying some person. They go and grab those tongs for that sweet and sour chicken. They scoop some sweet and sour chicken, and then Stacy comes. She's like, I want some sweet and sour chicken. Grabs those same prawns and then go. It's so gross.
That's the reason why I don't like buffets.
Yeah, I can't do buffets.
Amen.
And then that food sitting out. And then I hate that whole. I don't know what you call it, but you know how you can tell that food has been like purchased in bulk. Like it has the bulk taste. I don't know. Well, like when you go on a cruise. Like when you go on a cruise, like the food tastes like it was bought in bulk. And I can't explain it, but. Well, I don't like that taste.
It's probably food that's been
processed.
Not processed. It's usually like leftover market food. So a lot of these restaurants, they're buying, from these places that are the what?
Really?
Matter of fact, hey, just move all that.
I didn't get any of the broth.
Move all that her way.
It's good.
Oh wait, no, never mind.
It's one of those things though with the buffets. Like in Vegas, it's not like that. If you go to the right buffets, so like we did 2 videos in Vegas. We went for our anniversary, and one was the Wynn, and one was Caesar's Palace, and they're both like top rated, and not mass produced. You're paying like $50 for the Caesar's Palace one, and you're paying like $40 for the Wynn. and everything's in like small portions, you know, like bowls like that size, and
Right.
everything there was just outstanding. Though.
And where was this? I'm sorry.
Wynn.
Vegas.
So Wynn in
Vegas.
Caesar's Palace in Vegas. And they really do cater to a lot of worldwide guests. So you've got Asian foods, you've got Mediterranean, Italian, like everything you'd imagine. But we have those videos that they're just... We thought that people want to see that, and they performed really well, like for being pretty new still. Like we've jumped over that 1,000 mark. One of them's over 2,000. So people want to see what's in those buffets, you know.
Right.
But then it comes down to it again. Like you might never go to these places, but just watching someone eat is pretty cool, I think.
I don't like watching people eat. Do you watch those people that eat like
the lady.
with the like large like
What is it called? ASMR or AMR?
ASMR, when they eat the
yeah,
shrimp.
that I'm not into that. For me, it's all informational, and I like to be a little bit more of that that tour guide feeling. You know, maybe I should have been a tour guide. You know,
maybe.
So Chase, last meal.
Cause I'm hungry as fuck now. I might die.
I'm gonna die.
I would definitely. This is what I would do. Let me set this up for y'all. I would definitely make. I would have to have somebody to make. So they have to fly somebody in from my hometown.
And you think they're gonna do that for you on death row?
Hey, look, man.
And where's your hometown for the people who don't know?
Beaumont, Texas.
Okay.
So we would do sausage. It's Cajun sausage. So you saute it in onions and bell peppers, and then you make a red gravy with it with garlic and all that good stuff. A little bit of sugar just to cut the acidity. Put that over.
He sounds like one of those asthma commercials.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
cut
say.
the acidity up, and then you take like
And
a sex line, but for food description. Like he sounds like right now.
It's
Keep going,
food
Chase.
sex line.
Sorry,
Go
keep
ahead.
And then you put that over.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
You put
You
it
need to
over,
put on some slow music.
and then you put that over jasmine rice.
why Jasmine?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Jasmine rice has like a different like flavor.
Aromatics, yeah.
Yeah, it has like a different flavor.
Okay.
And so then you
can't
do that.
sing.
Then I would do like some Jiffy cornbread. You know what I'm saying?
Jiffy cornbread's the bomb. I don't care what
Exactly.
anybody says. It's so
Exactly.
good. It's like cake, but it's not.
And then thereafter, let the beat drop. And then after that, no, I would definitely do because with that you do the cabbage. The cabbage be off the chain. Then for dessert, I'm sorry, and cream corn.
I didn't get to say dessert.
Yeah, and cream corn, but you do 1 can of cream and 1 can of whole because you need more
It
kernels
needs
in
to
that
be louder,
thing.
Chase.
You need more kernels in that.
The song is not even a sexy song, Chase.
I mean,
No,
it's
but
not
he's
sexy,
describing
but
his
like
passionate feelings about
This is about loving his mom. What song is it?
that was off the Soul Food soundtrack.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah. Okay. And now we get to dessert.
Okay.
And you know when I think about dessert, I really.
Stop. Okay. You're turning everyone on in this room. Just
No,
stop it.
but no. What I would do? No. Really, for real. For dessert, like strawberry cake with strawberry cake with cream cheese icing and homemade ice cream. You know what I'm saying? From the scratch.
Can I have some of your first meal? Your last meal?
No, what you sleeping on? I got the damn. I make ice cream here all the time, which is kind of horrible.
You've never fucking made us ice cream.
I don't really fuck with y'all.
That's true.
I said 20th episode.
Oh, okay, so we still got 2 more episodes.
Damn, this song go hard. I'm just gonna like have this in the background as we continue this.
Okay, so Sean, you're
So
Come on,
I would
Sean.
say, you know,
No, Sean, do it better.
I would do $10 sliced pizzas and a side of bread pudding with vanilla ice cream.
Come on now. Come with it. Come with it.
So
And then the last thing I'd get is a Thai tea with.
Oh, the Thai TV off
that
the
sounds
chain.
so good.
I ain't
Sounds
lying.
like we're all gonna die of diabetes.
It's a shitload of sugar.
We're not
It's your
at that,
last
bro.
meal, so you're
Damn, I
gonna,
ain't
you're
say
gonna die.
nothing. No. Oh my God. And to drink. Red Kool-Aid.
Oh, I love red Kool-Aid.
Cause I ain't had
Not like Kool-Aid.
I haven't had Kool-Aid in about 15 years. But man, I drink number
not
one
like
now.
Kool-Aid.
I only drink drink it if I make it for the girls. Like I can't buy it already made, like in the jug.
No, that's
like, it's gross.
No, that's the only way to drink it if you're gonna drink it. But
Yeah,
I just
you
hate
gotta
it. I don't like Kool-Aid. It feels like it tastes like a struggle.
So
That's the whole point. motherfucker drink some Kool-Aid with a piece of white bread
Oh, nigga.
and be.
That's exactly what you sound
You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be good.
So what's one food? I guess now that we have all of our last great meals. What's one food that you will never eat or never eat again? So you will never ever eat it for whatever reason, or you've tried it and you will never eat it again ever.
I've already said mine: McGriddles and sardines.
Really?
But what's
sardines?
you
Have you tried sardines?
I have.
And you just don't like them?
No, I used to eat them out the can. Like I would just eat them when I was pregnant. It was probably the worst thing to do when you're pregnant.
Damn,
But
that's
whatever.
why he's so smart.
And then
That's why that boy a scientist.
and then
Right?
like I would and then one
she
time
found the key.
and then I just like threw it up. And it like sardines coming back up
So
is just,
gross.
it's gross. I'll never eat sardines.
Basically, a whole fish coming out your system. A
It was
number
gross.
of them.
It was gross.
Yeah, that was a whole scene.
McGriddles and sardines.
Sean, what's one food you've tried that you're just like, nah, never again?
So my wife likes these little. So she's German, right? So one of the things that they eat is this fish that it's like pickled fish, and it's called herring. And she loves this shit.
Red
like
herring.
she goes to what's that market downtown, Phoenicia?
Right.
You know that
Ooh,
Phoenicia
that's
market?
a nice spot. I like it there.
She gets it by the jar, and they're like pinned fillets of fish, and she just eats them like
My
pickles.
face is all like,
You know, it's the grossest thing, and I don't know how she stomachs them, but I guess because you grew up with that, it's one thing. But that's one of those things I just cringe when I see her eat that. So
gross. Chase, one food you've never ever eat again.
Probably crawfish, unfortunately.
You'll die.
I mean, yeah, I was like, what? I think I was like about either 5 to 7 years old. I can't really remember. And I was a fat kid. I love food. And yeah, so I ate a good, I think 6 trays of crawfish by myself
So
as a child. So yeah, after I did that, it was just like I couldn't. I threw it up, and that was it. I couldn't eat it after that. So
have you tried though? Like after a couple years? or-
yeah, after a couple of years, like my dad was tipsy one night, and we were at a party, and it was like a crawfish bowl
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh come on, just try one. God damn, it can't be that bad. Hey, all right, cool. Threw up on those people like in their living room.
ew.
I think I purposely stayed there because I didn't want to eat it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So when he was like, "No, come on, eat it," like in front of everybody, I said, "All right, come on."
How dare you embarrass him by throwing up on those people's floor?
Threw up all on the counter, not the counter, on the coffee table.
That's so gross.
Yep.
So I have like a weird phobia about food that's like, it can't look like how it was when it died. Like
Yeah,
it
when they do,
just-
like when they do the whole fish, like
yeah,
the whole,
like and it's nothing. Like I'm sure the food's
With the
delicious.
eyes and shit.
I just can't do it. So we went to Crown Seafood on Bellaire, and I pride myself in liking everything. Like I feel like I have a diverse palate. But
Ooh.
they ordered chicken feet, and I was like,
diversity.
nope. And I was
Fuck
like, they're
that.
like, try it. It's so good. It looks like it smells good.
It looks like chicken feet.
It looks like and I was like, y'all, it looks like no, just try. And I'm like, and so I grabbed one. I literally like bit a piece of the toe off, and I'm like, and I'm like,
Sounds
and I'm
so
trying-
gross when you describe
a
it.
trying
little bit of
to
toenail in
chew.
your mouth.
Yes, and
Huh?
as I'm chewing,
Their
it's like you can
talon.
take
Little taste of
cartilage
toenail.
and like bone, and I just spit it out, and I'm like, and I'm like, I can't do it again. I'm sorry, guys. Like this is so.
That's
gross.
just like frog legs.
What
Like
Jessica
frog
is
legs
saying
looks
is that
like
she
frog
does not
legs.
suck toes.
No, or
That's what
frog
you said.
legs. Or
Frog legs are they're
I'm good on all
I
this.
get that. I
yeah,
get it.
it just can't look like. I'm sure it's good, but I couldn't get past like the cartilage and like just the
Any type of feet or leg, like
Mm.
pig feet, chicken feet,
Hey,
frog
now
leg.
hold on now, because a chicken leg, god damn it.
you know.
It'll be
But I
gone.
mean, at this
But we're talking
point,
about
I
the
don't
feet.
eat chicken, but like, what about the feet?
But when you about to die, you gonna eat chicken, so stop. So
But I'm not gonna be on death row. Hopefully,
I don't know. I don't know.
So
do you have any recommendations for 24-hour spots?
24-hour spots. So Houston doesn't have a lot of 24-hour spots. They say late night, right? Because let's say there's a lot of days that it's slow, and whatnot. So they're open to like 4 a.m. some. So obviously we said Katz's, and we have BB's is open late. There's another spot, Mize, that's Midtown. What else? When you're
My
on the
favorite is Katz, though, because if I can go there at 2 a.m. in the morning and get matzo ball soup and like a cheesecake sundae brownie, like
they're pricey though.
Cass got the cheesecake sandwich.
They
are the chain.
Cheesecake
Hey,
sandwich.
I am not lying. I didn't get it. My homeboy, we went to
I think
this.
Jeremy got it
We
one
went to this
time.
event, and after the event, we was like, "Oh, we gotta go to Cass." I never been, and man, we pulled up over there. It's like Montrose area.
Montrose area,
Yeah, man, we pulled up over there. It was already funny because it's a very diverse area, and then yeah, man, he said, "Yeah, I'm just get a cheesecake sandwich." I was like, "What you gonna eat?" Is a large piece of cheesecake?
Sandwich?
No, it's like a very large piece of cheesecake, and it has a bun on top and on bottom. I'm not playing.
you're not. Oh my god!
That's what.
You're not kidding?
No,
You're not
I'm
joking.
trying to envision
No.
like a cheesecake sandwich and just not helping.
and I got a French toast sandwich. It was it was a Monte Cristo.
Monte Cristo is good.
Okay.
They make
It was
a
really
real
good.
French toast.
Yeah, those
over
are
there.
good.
Oh man, it was good.
So vegan spots.
So
for the
vegan
vegans out
spots.
there.
So there's a place called Green Seed Vegan.
I love
you been there?
green seed.
Okay, so yeah,
I go
we-
at least
we-
once a week for lunch.
We made a video in that spot, and like Sandy's a pescatarian, so she eats a lot of vegetarian stuff typically, and pescatarian seafood and whatnot. So green seed's like her spot too. Like she loves this place, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that because I like meat. I enjoy that. Although since I've been married to Sandy, I've definitely cut down on how much meat I intake. So she dragged me here, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm not expecting to enjoy this. Yeah. And sure enough, I'm like, holy shit, this place is bomb. Yes. I go in there, it's like Rastafarian, and
the food takes forever.
Yeah, but it's fresh and it's really wholesome.
It's good.
I have this vegetarian buffet that I love to go to. Again, you have to be the first person through that door in the morning. I shouldn't be giving you guys these secrets because now everyone's going to show up in the morning and
you won't have
take the crown from me here. But there's this place that's called Pine Forest Garden, I believe. It's in Bellaire, on Bellaire. It's across the street from Tantan. You know Tantan?
No.
No? Okay, well...
I feel like I've heard of Tantan.
Tantan is in the same parking lot as Ding Ding.
And you knew when you said Tantan and Ding Ding. Come on, dog.
He's fucking with us now.
Yeah, somebody's fucking with us.
That's a dim sum spot, but
yeah.
So anyways, Tantan's a late night spot as well. Like Bellaire's a really good spot for late night. It's just you gotta drive out of your way to go there, obviously.
Yeah, because they have a whole bunch of karaoke places too that are open till forever that serve food, and I feel like those are good places.
I'm gonna start planning my nights whenever the hell I do get out the house. I'm gonna start planning my nights around what the fuck do I want to eat at 2 a.m.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll join you.
I just gave y'all that for free.
For free. So has anybody here, since we're talking about food, we're talking about restaurants, all the great stuff, have any of y'all ever been a waiter? Waiters, been in the restaurant business,
Yes.
any of that stuff?
I have.
Where? I want to know. Tell me about it.
You wanna go first?
Now you go first.
Okay. So when I was I was like, how old was I? Maybe 12 or 13 years old.
Oh my god.
It was illegal to work.
There you go.
My dad forced me to go work on the weekends at this Indian restaurant he was friends with. He'd take all his coworkers there. It's still out there, but I think it's a different owner now. It was called Gourmet India. It was on Westheimer and Eldridge, and I loved eating there, so I was all about it. I was like, yeah, I get to work. I'm gonna make $6 an hour cash. And
money, cash, y'all.
Money.
Cash money.
Dollars.
12, 13 years old. That's a lot of change, and then I get free food on top of that. So I would do catered events, not catered events, parties. They had a party hall next door to the restaurant, and they would have weddings, they would have birthdays, that kind of thing. So I'd be a waiter, paid $6 an hour cash. You know what I mean? To be the guy that brings your food or replenishes the buffet, and I enjoyed it. I worked a couple weekends. I did that thing, and then I became a host at Le Peep, which is in Memorial City. It's a breakfast spot, and I I felt like, you ever seen that episode of SpongeBob when you were a kid where he was a waiter and he forgets everything he ever did?
Yes.
Damn.
That was me as a waiter. Like, I'm a
still
terrible
have
waiter.
Those dreams, like, to this day, like, I have one maybe once a year where I have the dream of being a waiter and you forget all of your tables.
Yes.
You forget their drinks.
Your name.
Yeah.
Yes, like everything. And it's like the worst dream I've ever had in my life. So
That was me.
I just realized I wasn't really a waiter. I was wrong. I worked at Jason's. Like, my first job was Jason's Deli. So
Okay.
it's not the same thing. So it's like,
So you got free ice cream.
no, I mean, like,
still have a
that's
chain.
a thing you work with.
I mean, it was like, yeah, but it was, oh, dude. It was,
It's counter service. But
well, I started off as a dishwasher. First job ever, dishwasher at 15. Because I wanted a car. So I had to, like, work first to, like, pay for half the car
okay.
before I turned 16.
How much were they paying you over there? That's a lot for a car.
But the car was like, it was a $3,000 vehicle. $3,000 Mustang.
Fair enough.
I miss it still. But yeah. Dishwasher first, which was hella easy. And then after I was a dishwasher, I moved up to the line. To the line, they make all the food or whatever. Sandwich line. And then after that I quit after that. No, it wasn't because of that, because I walked behind so this is what happened. I walked behind the counter. One day I went to go pick up my check. And I like barbecue beef sandwiches. They don't serve barbecue beef sandwiches at Jason's Deli, but they have like the beef spud, like the Texas spud with the beef, And I told the chick, I said, "Hey man, make me a barbecue beef sandwich." I would do it every day when I was actually working.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I don't know how to make that." I'm like, "It's beef and bread, like cheese, and a little bit of mayo." Because the barbecue is already in there. So I said, "Look, I got it," and I go behind the counter.
What? And you don't even work there?
No, I was off.
It was his off day.
It was my off
I was
day.
like, how are you doing this at Jason's Deli?
Yeah, I went behind the counter, and they were having like a meeting. All the managers in the tri-state area were having a meeting there, and my manager stands up, "Chase, get from behind my counter. If you don't get from behind my counter, I'm going to chain you to the back of my truck and drag you down Darling." That's what he told me.
Oh, was he white?
He was white.
Been racist.
This was, I think, a little bit after the James Byrd Jr. Dragging in Jasper.
What?
This was
That's
like
a bright thing to do.
yeah. So I think but I was so bad about it. I didn't even quit immediately because I just didn't know how to. I didn't know how to process it properly.
Yeah.
But then my grandmother was like, "No, you're quitting," and I'm gonna. Then she sent a letter to the owner.
Dang,
of
if that
JC
would have
Byrd.
happened now.
Right, in social
it would've
media
been
time. Monday.
Yeah, man, old days. Yeah.
Dang.
I wish I had worked at more restaurants though growing up. Like I should have done the McDonald's thing or something. Just because I look at it now, I'm like,
dude.
that would have been a dope job back then. Back then, I was hating on people that worked at McDonald's. Like just like the shit you get away
Sean,
with over there.
Sean,
It's a
Sean,
fun. No,
My brother has worked at every chicken place.
really.
I need to call him.
He hooked me up?
Worked at, no. So we were broke growing up. So he worked at KFC, Popeyes, like every one of them churches. And like those places, when you like fried chicken for a living,
Yeah.
you smell like chicken. Like
Right.
it gets in your pores.
I smell
But-
like Indian food.
Hey, but dude, I promise to God, when he when we went to KFC, man, they just came out with like the barbecue wings. He would come with the boxes. He would come with like the 20 piece box, full. Like when it's too full with the top kind of like fucking up. He had one box of regular, one box of barbecue. It was lit. It was eating.
See, I'm telling
Sound
you.
like you're hungry, Chase.
I'm very hungry.
We got some more chicken over here for you.
Good.
So do you guys have any
I
bad,
want later.
worst or bad experiences, in the food customer service,
Oh my god.
thing,
So many.
as a waiter or as the person who's sitting there?
Yeah.
The worst thing ever that happened to me. Not the dude telling me whatever. But I would have to clean the tables or whatever. You clean up
Yeah.
the whole restaurant before you leave or whatever every day. And they used to have this old guy who would come eating there like once a week, maybe every 2 days. And he had a colostomy bag.
I didn't mean to laugh. I just want to know why.
Wait, did you see it?
Was it full?
Because he always had like an odor.
Oh.
And I was like, damn, bro. Like,
Oh, that was it? That was...
no, that's not it.
Okay.
I had to clean his booth.
I was
And,
about to say something else.
and
Oh.
Hell no. What you talking about?
Oh, the booth. I didn't hear you all the way.
I had to clean his booth. Like, one time I had to clean the booth. The booth that he was sitting in. And I guess his bag had burst.
Oh,
So it was just like, why y'all laughing at this? Is horrible. This old man has made it.
I'm uncomfortable.
The old man has made it to the prime of his life, and all he wants today is a motherfucking Jason's Deli sandwich and a spud.
Oh, poor guy.
But yeah, I had to clean it, and it was like hella bad. Like, I think that bag had been full for a while because it was just.
Nice. Stacey, do you have a great bad experience? Maybe not like that, but like.
Well, so yeah, I never was a waiter or anything. I guess I never qualified because I tried and I just never. I tried so hard to get a job to be a waitress and I was never hired.
You've been I could see you being a bartender for some reason and like cleaning that one glass and shit and like listening to
somebody's problems. I don't know. Like Cheers.
You know what you should do?
No, but like I'd worked at Wingstop when I was in high school. I was assistant manager. And it was like my favorite job because I love chicken back in my day. And so this lady comes in with this bag of food, and it looked like an old bag of. It was like an old Wingstop bag of food, and she was like, "Yeah, I need to return these wings." Oh. And I was like,
Costco.
When did you buy them? Like this, and I open it again. I'm a teenager, so I'm like, the fuck, like. I'm opening, all the wings are eaten. There's bones. And it looks like it was like put in a refrigerator. Like, so the wings that did have meat on it, like, it was like old. Oh. And she had purchased it like 4 or 5 days ago and was like, I need my money back. I didn't enjoy it. Like, the food was cold. And I'm like, bitch, it was cold because you probably put it back in the refrigerator to eat it. So I have an attitude because I'm like, this? Like, you can't just return wings and old fries.
Yes, you can. Listen. My grandfather, may he rest in peace, Thomas Pereno, aka Jack. He went to, I think it may have been KFC, and he got like a 10-piece. And then, like, when he brought it home, apparently, this is a legend. When he brought it home,
he's trying to play
they bit into it. They bit into it, and then it had like that little, like, kind of purple. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like fully cooked.
Yeah.
But it was cooked. So they still ate. Right, next day he bring that shit back and said, "Look, y'all see this shit on these bones? It wasn't cooked. I need another 10-piece."
This lady wanted her money back. She wanted her money back. Like, wow. And so of course I was like, no. And then my like smart ass little teenage assistant manager, she's like, let me speak to your manager. And that was that first moment where I was like, bitch, it's me, and I'm not returning this shit. You know, I was like, take your little old wings, get the fuck out of here. She takes her wings. She takes her wings, and then she comes back another day with the same shit. And the other manager there gave her a refund, and I was like, wow. I already told her that she couldn't get it. But
why?
Why did he give her a refund? Because he was like, well, you know, she's a customer and we need to make the customers happy. And I was like, that shit ain't true. This bitch ate those wings. I wasn't giving her money back. But yeah, so that was a crazy. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, so I have one where I don't know if I should tell the story.
Oh, come on.
It's something I did to a customer's food.
No. That sounds like a criminal offense.
Sounds like a case.
It's the time in which it could have happened has passed. But, man, I'm trying to think. Hold up. Come back to me. I'm going to think about it.
So, I worked with one of my friends. His dad owned a Godfather's Pizza shop, and it's a pizza buffet. I'm sure y'all have heard it before. You know, Godfather's Pizza?
Nope.
No? Yeah? No?
Nope.
So it's a pizza.
Actually, I have heard of it.
They're a chain. It's like, it's honestly, the pizza's really good there. Like, really good.
Let me look them up now.
And they do buffet. They do all made to order, all that stuff. So on the summers, it was near Splashtown, you know, on 45 North. I don't know what it's called now, Slitterbahn or whatever, but it was Splashtown back then, and so they'd get a lot of people, you know, in the summer. So I'd help out just to hang out with a friend, whatever. I'd pretty much work for free for pizza, and we'd have this guy come in one day, and he's super skinny, like really skinny. And then he'd come in, buy the buffet, and he would gorge to the point where you're like, that's not safe, man. Like, whatever you're doing.
Safe, however much you're eating.
And then he went in the bathroom and he threw it all up and goes back to the buffet to eat again.
Why?
Because that's how good weird. Just eating is.
And
fuck digestion.
Then after like doing that again, he would leave and we had to kick him out. And it was just one of those things, though. He'd try to come back.
You said we like you were getting paid.
We have to get
we'll let his ass go for these slices.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, no, that is crazy.
Hell no. Is it that damn good? I gotta go there. That's like the best commercial I've ever heard. It's so fucking good that you actually want to eat, throw up, and then go back again.
So I have a funny story. This is when I was a waiter, but it was really funny because we always, you always get regulars that come in for coffee, all that kind of crap. So it's when I worked for Outback Steakhouse, and we had these regulars that would come in. It was like 4 of them, but they were like those regulars that were like, oh, everybody knows us over here in Oakley, and we're like the people of this, and like they were like very like I guess entitled, but they were nice. So like but if you were their server or they would ask to talk to you, you would get stuck talking to them forever, forever, and you could not get away. Like, and I swear, like you could try, but you just wouldn't. Like somebody would have to come and save you, and it was like a man, a husband, and like their 40-year-old daughter, and they had like 12 cats. I'm not even joking.
Wasn't Outback's line "No rules, just right" or something like that? Like,
yeah,
like the customer's always right, no matter what.
And my manager was like big on customer service, so they asked for him to go out there and talk to him, and he would always go out and talk to them for like 10 or 15 minutes. One of us would go get him, and then he'd be like, oh, okay. So it was like closing time, and I'm like, hey, Santi, they want to talk to you, like, blah, blah. And he was like, I don't, like, okay, well, come get me in 10 minutes, Jessica. And I'm like, okay, I'll come get you. So he goes out there, and he's talking to them, and I start doing something else. I forget about him for like 40 minutes. For like 45 minutes. I felt like such an asshole, and I was like, oh, and I like run out there, and he is still talking to them, and he looks over at me, and he's like, and I walk up real slowly, and I hear a lady just like, yeah, my cat, she had like 9 babies, and one of them, we call her Sweetie Pie, and blah, blah, and he's just like, oh, yeah, and I'm like, hey, Santi, I was like, your wife's calling on the phone, and he was like, oh, okay, thanks, Jessica, and he's like, excuse me, guys, I have to be back, and he like takes my hands by the shoulders, like, let's go, Jessica.
Like, and, we both don't leave.
No, I like cleaned some stuff I didn't clean for a while. Like, it was the onion thing, the onion bloom. I had to clean that. Like, he was so mad. But yeah, those customers, it was funny.
Oh, damn.
I worked at Outback Steakhouse as a host.
Story.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I worked there for 5 years.
I worked there for 6 months. 6 months. I love the bloomin' onions, and I think I got sick of them after a while.
I don't eat those anymore because of that. So.
Kids steak. I got the kids steak. I always ordered off the kids menu because that was the cheapest thing we could afford. Because everything on Outback's like, I think when you start, they give you 3 free meals. They want you to try the food, and I'd never eaten there before in my life. And then after that, it's so expensive even with your discount. You just try to get the kids steak, the kids ribs, or whatever.
Yeah, all that stuff. No,
Good
I
times.
get it. So, tell us about the 7-day challenge that you just loaded on YouTube.
Yeah, so I've seen some people do these challenges where they live on $1 per day for 7 days, and I was so intrigued by it. I was like, that's pretty cool. If someone can do that in 2019, that's pretty commendable. So I was like, let me see if we could do this in Houston. And so I, took to the street and just started figuring out how I can utilize freebies and going to grocery stores. And
so define $1 a day, because when I was watching one of your episodes, you literally, anything you have in your kitchen you can't use, right?
That's correct.
Like you can't use anything in your kitchen.
Yep.
Like whatever you already have.
No leftovers, none of that, unless it's from when you started the challenge. So for example, you're gonna get $1 per day for 7 days. You can't buy $7 of groceries, and then
that was my first question. I was like, did he spend $7
that's
for the
the
week?
easy way out. No, they use $1 per day. That's including tax, so not $1.07, not $1.08. Not $1.01, it's with tax included, and you can't get help from friends and family. That was the second rule. So I can get strangers to help me out.
You could like go on dates.
Well, my wife would have
Technically,
probably killed me.
I'm just saying, you
But
know,
that would technically work, I guess. But that would kind of
you
be
could, you know,
cheating-ish.
and there is. I'll be honest. I did see a YouTuber use Tinder to like he tries to survive for no money, and he uses Tinder to find places to stay and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's pretty insane how crazy these challenges go. And you know, this challenge I utilized. One, I didn't include it with gas because Houston's just too big. I would have been bankrupt by day one, right? And you know, challenge failed. But I didn't include the gas, so I could use my car. And it's been done in London and New York. Those were the two places I saw was done. And they walked, they biked, they did all this weird stuff. And I was like, we're a car city. It is what it is. But I utilized grocery stores that were cheap. I cooked. I went to events. And I ate better. I ate better with the $1 a day challenge than I probably regularly eat. Like, because I ate almost every meal. I didn't forget to eat. It was my goal to eat, right? So when you're fixated on like I gotta eat something, let's figure it out. You know, you'll ask those questions like, can I get 2 of those? Can I? Is it okay if I try this? You know, and it brought you out of your comfort zone is what it does. You know, and you're really forced to see how difficult it is when you don't have those things like butter to cook or oil, or you know, like I literally went to McDonald's. I was like, hey bro, could I get a barbecue sauce? He's like, man, it's 30 cents. You know, I was like, oh man,
I can't get it. I can't afford it.
Luckily I was so blessed and that guy hooked it up, and I had to take his face off the camera because I didn't want to get him in trouble. But I even went back to McDonald's. I was like, hey man, can I use your face on it? He's like, can, but I probably get fired for it. So I was like,
so give me an example of a day. $1 for that day. What does that look like?
So the first day, I used Panera Bread. They have a free pastry with your coupon that you sign up for their app or whatever. So I got it, and I got an almond pastry. And the lady hooked me up with 2. She realized what I was doing. I didn't even notice it until later when I was actually eating the pastry. So I used that time to go get condiments, and then I went to the car, got a glass of water with lemon. Then I was like, fuck, I need some coffee. You know, like that completes your breakfast. And that's the hardest part, is the day you start, there's no coffee. You can't go in your cupboard and fix yourself some coffee or any of that. So what I did for coffee was, and this is specific, something that I have only done on these challenges, is I went to my bank. Because I was like, I got to go get that $1 every day, and they have free coffee at Chase. Boom. So every morning I would go in and...
Shout out to Chase for giving out the free coffee.
Grab your $1.
We really do what we can.
Every day except for Sunday, I went to Chase. And I went to different Chases every single day just to see if they're a little different, you know, and... They never turned me away. One time they asked me one time, like, what are you doing with this $1? You know, because I'd come in and I'd make small talk. So one of the things about this challenge is you have to make small talk, like just BS talk. Like I'd be like, hey man, can I get the most crisp $1? Would you mind putting it in an envelope? Or like one day there was like a AC system in day 3 you'll see this. There's an AC system. It looks like ET was there or something hiding in the back. It was just it was unique. It was unique to have to talk to people. Like in every situation, I'm just like, I'd be taught, oh, that's a cool shirt, or you know, like stuff that I'd never say. Usually, I would do it just to like be like, please don't judge me. Please don't think what I'm doing. You know, it's one of those survival. You know, when you're surviving, you do whatever, you know, to survive, and that's pretty much what it was. Some good times.
So what's like, I know you mentioned something really cool happened, like what's something crazy that happened on this challenge? I feel like,
yeah,
because like I watched one episode and he used Eventbrite a lot, so like he would find free events, and it was really awkward for me to watch him going into like you know how we did the tickets that one time? Kind of like something like that. We did
the timeshare?
Yes!
To get money off
I thought about doing that.
Yeah, we did timeshare in Florida to get money off of tickets for Universal Studios.
No, we got free tickets. Right?
No, they gave us, it was like $70 off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was a lot cheaper or something like that. It was like 4 tickets for like $100 or something like that. It was
was a good deal, but
Did you buy the timeshare?
But that's
we didn't, but like the time. Funny thing, the timeshare went from like $200 or $300 something a month, and they were like, well, we're single parents and like this and that, and like they're like, well, we have a single parent discount, and we have you're black, we got a discount for that. We have a discount for. No, I'm just kidding, they didn't. But they literally like pulled out the stops, and it ended up being like $50 a month, like, and then we were still like, no, we just want the money. And then we were on this massive like property, and they brought us on these carts, right? And then so we said no. They were like, all right, fuck y'all, here's y'all's voucher, and we had to walk like a mile to go pick up our kids that were in like the little daycare park because no one wanted to take us to go get them. It was pretty hilarious. But yeah, we did do that.
So he did that too, like in the challenge. It was just really awkward to watch, to see, because it's like he would do it for things like one of the breakfasts he had was like it was like a church thing, and they were giving like a sermon in the morning, and it was like
you sat through a sermon.
Not a full no. So that was a breakfast.
Got a cracker and some wine.
What?
Oh, I thought you got like the communion cracker.
Communion. So
I really just need that cracker.
So it was a petrochem breakfast that's done monthly, and it was in Deer Park, where the fire happened and all that. And so I was looking for breakfast events because I was like, man, that's going to be hard to find, and I can't get free pastries every day from Panera. They're not going to do that. So I went to this petrochemical industry breakfast, and it was really cool. Surprisingly, like I was expecting one thing, but I totally saw another. And this guy does podcasts or live streams of his church, and it's like just before work you can come there, eat for free. They all ask for a donation if you'd want. And it was like pretty legit. Like it was like a motivational speaking almost. And then at the end they kind of pray, and it wasn't too Jesus for me. I'm not super religious, but I'm kind of accepting of any religion. I'm not too,
Yeah.
But I definitely had some interesting talks there. I talked to like this one guy was like, "Do you believe in Jesus?" There's always that talk at the end, and I was like, "Absolutely," more or less. You know what I mean? Like just to get out of there. No,
I believe that Jesus gave me this breakfast.
I mean, it was a good experience though. It was every experience I had last week was amazing. Like I was really impressed. I thought I'd be turned away from things. I thought I'd be forced to convert or something, and it did not happen at all. Like everything went.
So what happened on day 3? I want to know.
So day 3, okay, for those of you, this is gonna be a little spoiler, but I had a coupon for IHOP pancakes, right? And so it was a free stack of pancakes when you sign up for their My Hop rewards, which is like their what do you call it? Special,
Yeah, their rewards
app, right? Yeah. So I printed out this coupon, and I was like, I looked at it. And I was like, fuck, on the top right, it puts the address of a California location. And I'm like, it's like, it has to be used here and nothing else and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking like, okay, did I just put, I live in California? And I checked my app and I did everything. And I was like, no, I put Houston and it generated California. So I was like, trying to reach out on Twitter, no answer from IHOP. And then I was like, fuck it. I was at the bank, let's just go. And if it doesn't work, we'll figure it out. I've been doing it already for 2 days. So I go there. And I'm like, guys, I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to go to the IHOP on Kirby. It's the drunk IHOP. People go after going out and partying.
Yeah.
And so I walk in, and I see the manager. I'm in the front, and there's a manager in the polo. And then there's these 3 guys in suits. And then I'm just like, I go straight to the manager. I'm like, hey, man, I have this coupon. Can I get this free stack of pancakes? He's like, oh, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay, everyone looks a little bit too nice right now. And I was like, could I get it to go? He's like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. We'll take care of you. And the waitress is all nice. And then he asked me to take a picture of him with the group of people in suits. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And then this guy, he immediately, in the suit, he sees the camera. And I didn't notice this till, like, I was editing. He looked directly at this camera that was, like, mounted on my shoulder. Yeah. And he's like, I don't think you need to take a picture. That guy's filming right there. And I'm like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, I'm like a deer in headlights, like, no bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I just get these pancakes, get the fuck out of here? Like, seriously at that point. And he's like... And then I take the picture, and then I explain to him what I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this challenge, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever, right? These guys are the executive team of IHOP. So, like, out of the 1,000 probably over 1,000 locations worldwide. They chose that IHOP. They were in the front, about to leave, and I chose like the 2-minute window I probably had to get, all this cool stuff. So anyways, after telling them what I was doing, I told them, I'd print out this coupon. I don't think I was going to get it, but your guys took care of me. I appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, are you allowed to receive any help on your challenge? And I'm like, yeah, I can from strangers, but not from friends or family. And the guy looks at the camera again. He's like, I don't know him. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And
okay. Trying to prove that he doesn't.
Yeah, and then they're talking to me and they're exchanging info and whatever. And then the guy's like, I gotta go to my car. It's nice meeting you. Have a nice time, whatever. He's like, you're waiting for your food? Cool. And then I'm just like I get my food and I'm like, can I get some butter? I'm like trying to get some condiments, like I'm not even thinking about what's going on. So like, because condiments are important in this challenge. You got to get butter, you got to get ketchup, you got to get all those sauces, salt, pepper. Those are all things that you really realize you need when you're in the situation. Anyways, he comes back in, catches me off guard, and he's like, he hands me 4 gift cards. They're $25 a piece, and he's like, go spend your $1 on something else. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And I look at him and I'm like, is that really what just happened? And then he just walks out and leaves, and then I go back to my car and I just want to tell the world, right? I'm just like, oh my God, I just fucking won, and I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to use the gift cards because I want to keep study on this challenge, but I wanted people, and I'm hoping people comment and let me know of some ideas to use the gift cards for. I was thinking like maybe having brunch with a homeless guy and talking about what his story is or something to do something positive. So that was like...
Was this before or after you went to the church thing?
After. It was after.
You see what I'm saying?
See how Jesus provides?
He's like, that's what happened. He was like, I see you over there, Sean, with that IHOP, trying to get them free pancakes. I got you.
Pretty much.
Don't he just do it sometimes? Sometimes he'll just come into your life.
Those were the best pancakes I ever had in my life, too. I ate those with my hands in the car.
Nice.
I call them handcakes now.
So what would you like to tell anybody about your channel to watch, to where can they find you, what can they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go on YouTube and you hit you search Sean and Sandy, SEAN Sean, and you can do AND or the ampersand Sandy SANDY, you'll see a picture of us behind or in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. That's the channel. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Tons of content. Mainly about food. There's a couple videos that are not food related, like my wife ran the Boston Marathon, so if you're ever wanting to run that, get an insight of what you're going to have to do, that's a good video. The challenge, I think, is the focus right now. Like, everyone, you don't understand, like, I'm getting messages, calls, texts, emails about this challenge, and it's just insane, the support I've been getting, because it's our videos do well, but this just went we went from 15 hours of watch time per day to 30, 40, 50 hours of watch time per day, overnight, immediately. And the thing is, those videos are 20 minutes long, right? So people are actually watching the whole thing, and they're like, dude, more. And I'm like, I can't even go that fast, yo. I'm on day 3. I got 4 more days left, and it's just every day of this challenge has been different. It's crazy. There's a day where I had to go find work for a meal, and you'll see. I don't want to get
what day are you on?
I finished the challenge.
Oh, okay. Just I was like, was this a meal just?
Oh yeah.
Someone you don't know
count? No. That's why I was
bought the meal.
You had asked me to do this last week, and I didn't want to do it because I was like, I'm gonna be.
Yeah,
I don't think I could do this right now. You know what I mean? Last week. So I went to a mosque one day. I'd never been to a mosque before. I went to a Hare Krishna temple. Have you ever been there?
No.
All those places, and interesting things, and I went to Whole Foods. Went to an Asian market. Just it's so much throughout the week that I would have never done. I would have sat on my ass and watched TV or edit my usual videos. But because I had to feed myself, and because I'm such a fat ass and I like to eat, I had to figure it out. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat ramen noodles. I'm not gonna eat garbage on this challenge, But the hardest thing about the challenge is was the beverages, like not having water by my side because I can't go in and buy a convenience store water or whatever. You know, I'm so used to having a Red Bull or water or kombucha, whatever the hell it is that, you know, you drink from at 2 to 5 was the worst because I'd just walk out and I'm like, oh man, I'm so exhausted. I need a nap. But then I'm like, crap, I got to go to another event.
Yes.
You know? So.
All right, guys. Well, that sounds super interesting. You guys should for sure go check out his challenge. I'm on day 3. I didn't watch day 3 yet. I'm going to watch it today. I think today you're posting day 4.
No,
Day 5.
So initially I was gonna do it like back to back, and it's a lot of editing. So it was like because I recorded like the whole day. A lot of times I'm in public places, I can't touch my camera,
Yeah.
so I had to like sift through all these clips and show people, hey, this is like the important parts and stuff. But like I'm hoping to have day 4 out tomorrow, but it might be Monday. But I'm just spacing them out a little bit because I want everyone to have a chance to watch them all. I don't want you to skip if possible. Obviously, if you want to see day 3 is pretty juicy. I'll be honest, like. And I try to teach people a few things and hacks as well. So like it's also for those people like let's say you're in that position where you maybe not $1 a day, but like maybe you're struggling, right? If I could help you find a meal where you're eating decent, or you get a free pizza or something, like that's clutch right there. You know, that's what it's all about.
Yes.
Especially because we eat at all these fancy spots, and you know maybe you don't have that kind of money to spend, but you could totally get a free pizza at one of these events, right?
No, I definitely, I think it's a good challenge. I find it very interesting. I've been watching it, so definitely tune into his YouTube channel, Sean and Sandy. Watch that. Go follow them on Instagram. If you liked us having Sean here today, you should comment below, like, subscribe, go to our Instagram page, do all that jazz, and yeah, I think that's all we got today.
That's it.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you like the
coming.
food.
The food was great.
No, it's gross. It was so disgusting.
Stacey didn't eat 5 plates. she just ate 1.
Hello, guys out there. I know that we've been talking a lot about food today.
But if you want a snack,
But if you want a snack, goddamn, stay sorry. And Jessica Lola, 51, are single and ready to mingle and hungry.
He's lying.
Okay, they just ate, but they still would like to go eat something with you or have you eat something.
Or we may just make Sean
For
take us
them.
somewhere cool.
So
Yeah,
if you
we'll do
want
that.
to take one of these lovely ladies out on a date, DM them, slide in those DMs.
Chase is also very, 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 very,
So
very, very,
single.
very single. He's
If
like
you
the
would
most
just-
single person I know. He doesn't do shit.
Horrible.
Come grab
guy.
him off his couch, lady.
Which means I'm boring. But these
We'll bring you on the
ladies,
podcast.
Go
Just
Come on.
slide.
watch the 7-day
just-
challenge with Chase.
just slide in those
Hang out.
DMs, guys, and you will be safe.
I'm with you, Chase.
Bye.